What is up, DMV basketball fans? Welcome into another Believe in DMV Hoops. I'm Matt Moderno, joined here today by Matt Rogers, the first ever active college athlete guest on the podcast and multiple time guest. So, Matt, thanks for coming back.
I appreciate you having me once again. I love that little flex right there. I'm your first college athlete, so it's always
cool.
always awesome to hear. So,
yeah, we love it too. So, thank you for coming back. For anybody who's not familiar with Matt or hasn't checked out his previous appearances on the podcast, one, go do that, and two, averaging about 16.5 points, about 5.5 boards, 1.5 assists, shooting 39% from three on multiple attempts per game here. Matt, having a great year for American, and this is your fifth year at American. You're like one of the rare breeds in college basketball, staying multiple years at one program. So it's just been really cool to follow along the way here. And shout out to you for very recently passing 1,500 points and 500 career rebounds. Only the sixth person in program history to do that. So I know you're a team guy, but that's got to still feel pretty cool to hear as an accolade.
Yeah, it is. It is really cool to know that I did it at AU, staying there for 5 years. It's really a second home for me. It's been a great experience at AU. I love DC. I've said that in the past. I love American. I love the program. I love the business school that I'm in. But I have to give a shout out to Eli, because a lot of those points come from Eli, and he also just passed 1,000, and he also just passed 400 assists. I know a lot of those assists are to me, so I'm really appreciative of my teammates as well. It's cool to hear though. It's cool to experience, and I'm not done yet. I want to get that Patriot League championship ring on my finger, and then I think I'll be good with that.
Yeah, definitely want to come back to that as sort of, you guys have like one big goal for this year here as a team. That's why you guys all came back to do this. But first, we're brought to you by Stateside Vodka and their Surfside Hard Iced Teas, Hard Lemonades. Also brought to you by BetOnline. BetOnline continues to be the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned or first-time bettor, BetOnline is your ultimate game day companion with the largest selection of odds on everything from football, NBA, college basketball, NHL, UFC. BetOnline is your number one source for sports betting this year. From touchdowns to three-pointers and hat tricks, BetOnline has you covered for every game, every play, and every win. BetOnline, the game starts here. All right, so you mentioned Eli there. It's been you guys together for 4 years. You've been with Lincoln for a bunch of years. You've been with Colin for a bunch of years. Like, you guys are kind of the core of the team for me, and not that I'm some diehard journalist here, but I try to be kind of objective, but you guys are just fun to root for because you're a bunch of dudes that stuck together. You got a common goal, in Patriot League, Ivy League, like, you guys are real student athletes. Not that, other people at other programs aren't, but like, you guys aren't there because, American outbid for your services. You're there because you want to get a good education and play good basketball. So it's cool to root for. And I gotta think that's probably pretty cool for you guys to just continue to be a part of.
Yeah, it is cool. The four of us have been together for a lot of games. We played a lot of games together for sure. But a big part of my coming back was the grad program, getting my master's at American. The master's there is an amazing program. I'm going into my spring semester now. It just started actually this week, so I'm excited to get
a little busy.
Yeah, just starting to get busy again. The winter break was nice, not having classes, but that's college, so we're back now, and I'm excited to continue my education as always. I'm a student first, and I enjoy flexing that a little bit. Getting my master's from AU is also just a little gimme with that 5th year I got.
Pretty cool.
So it's I won't complain at all.
Yeah, I mean, that's the basketball accolades and stuff are cool, but putting MBA next to your name from American, for the rest of your life, that has a long lasting effect here too. And it's just like refreshing to hear that that's a thing that goes into the decision making process too. So kudos to you guys for all taking that seriously.
Appreciate it.
You're 9-9 overall. You're 3-2 here in the Patriot League, which puts you currently at the time of this recording in second place in the league. Colgate's 3-1. You're about to play Holy Cross, who you've already beaten. They're 2-2. How are you feeling about where you guys are at as a team right now?
Not satisfied at all. If you look at our most recent games, you would see that our defense has really taken a step, and that's what we've been preaching in practice. Practice is where it is for us. That's where we make our bread and butter. We really rely on practice. Like Coach Jack, Coach Simp, anybody will tell you, practice is where we get better, where we want to get better. That's how every good team gets better. We've just been harping on defense, because we know the offense is always going to be there. We have a fast-paced offense. Guys are going to hit shots. The offense will always be there. But if we have a top-tier defense like we've been playing the last 2 games, just being aggressive, being in the gaps, rebounding, not letting offense rebounds, and then the few having the less turnovers that we had last few games as well has also been helping on the defensive side. So it's just been really energizing. You can see a different energy after that response to the Navy game, which we started off really rough. The defense, it was not our brand of basketball whatsoever, and we were really disappointed in that performance. We came back out, beat Holy Cross, showed a little bit of what we were about. Went up to Boston, had a really good defensive game up there as well. Didn't fall our way. The offense was a little hit or miss that game as well, but we bounced back with 2 good wins here in a row now. So I'm just excited. Just excited for the rest of the season.
Bucknell's tough, man, and you guys were down 11 at halftime, and things looked a little dicey in that first half. And I think sometimes just like that kind of win, I think that can be like the really good snowball downhill for a team. Like it seemed like something clicked in that second half and carried over, into this most recent win as well against Loyola. Like that's how it seemed from the outside looking in. Did you guys kind of feel that as well? Like something just sort of locked in the second half of that Bucknell game?
Because when you look at that first half, we gave up 10 offensive rebounds and 10 turnovers. It's just that's so many more possessions for another team to have. Luckily, they didn't have a great shooting night in that first half where they could have capitalized. But when he came into that locker room he was fired up. And usually Coach Shemp he's not the most like like yelling at you. He's pretty level-headed. He'll tell you straight in a level-headed voice, but he came in with a lot of fire, and I think that really ignited a lot of guys in the locker room. It showed you all the passion that he really has for the game, and all the confidence that he has in his squad, and it really woke us up. And I'm excited he did that. I'm glad he did that because some guys needed to hear that, especially myself. Yeah. It's our last go around. We only have so many games left. This core group we have, so it's just taking advantage of every minute, every second you have out there, and just giving it your all. You have a sub coming in. Just give it that 2:30, that 3 minutes, 4 minutes if you can do it, and then come back in. You'll come right back in. But yeah, it ignited our defense, and I'm just glad that we're taking that step forward, and we're just going to keep getting better and better.
Not to give you guys an excuse here, but this year again a little bit bitten by the injury bug. I think when you've had everybody available and you do have that depth and you can play like harder in those minutes, knowing that somebody's able to take your place, like you guys have looked really good. When you guys have been like firing on all cylinders, but. Yeah, Eli missed some games. Collins missed some couple. Jeff's missed some couple. Eric missed a couple. It does make things tougher to be in sync on those things you talked about. Like when guys don't always play the same minutes together, I think you get more turnovers. It's harder to team rebound, team defend when you've got sort of more interchangeable pieces. Has that been a real factor for you guys? Is just sort of that lack of consistency, I guess?
I think it's just guys getting out of the flow because we had everybody at the beginning of the season, of course. It's just like just having these unfortunate injuries, like Eli getting elbowed in the face in the GW game, like that doesn't happen every day. Jeff rolling his ankle, a couple times, like on the same side. It's just like, just not getting the breaks that we should. I feel like the basketball, we call it a little luck. The basketball gods is what Coach Sim says. It's just like, but when you put in the effort, and guys are putting in the effort to come back rehab, and they're going in every day, they're getting treatment. We're eventually gonna get rewarded, and we're gonna all be out there together again. And Eli's starting to get back in the flow. Eric just came back a couple games ago. He's starting to get back in the flow again. It's exciting to see guys playing more together, coming back together, playing more minutes together. Like me and Eli are starting to click again. He's starting to get his shot back. I know I think the mask is about to come off here real soon, so that will be a little bit more of a confidence booster for him as well. And then just getting Eric back is a huge bless for us. He brings another dynamic to the big man position. I'm not a big shot blocker, as you can see, but he comes in. He's athletic. He's long. He does a really good. He's really good on the defensive side. The offensive game is going to come, but his defensive energy is so. It's just there. You see it as soon as he steps on the court, which I'm really excited about to see for the rest of the season from him.
For you, a couple of these games, I'm a little biased because you're my guy, but some of these fouls that you picked up, I don't know. I don't totally buy them. This last game ended up with a little bit of the Bucknell game. Sorry, I think right. Bucknell was the one with a little bit of foul trouble.
Yeah, I had 4 fouls with I think 12 to 10 minutes left in the game.
Yeah, so. It was tough, and luckily, like Eric was back in at least slightly limited capacity there. But I thought Mason gave you guys great minutes. I'm gonna keep saying that 3 offensive rebounds in 4 minutes is almost unheard of, but
he deserves it, man. He's had the injury bug his whole career since he came here, and he's battled, and he came in and he got us. That was a huge. I don't even know how many minutes he played. 5 to 7 minutes, whatever. Yeah, 4 minutes. 4 minutes. That's we'll take it. And he brings a lot of energy. He does that in practice every day. He's a big energy guy. He gives his all because he knows you never know with injuries. You never know what's going to happen. So whenever he's out on the court, he brings a different type of energy. I love it. I love that he got out there and he brought a positive, like that. You just felt it from him. He felt it. He wanted it more. It felt like, so it was just awesome to see.
How much does that free you up to do your thing when you know, hey, Eric is healthy and can like back me up if I do pick up a foul or I do need a breather, and Mason is here to help me out too? Like, I guess can you be at your best, without those guys there to kind of fill in too?
Yeah, it just gives me a little bit more confidence to play free, play a little bit more loose on the defensive side, being more aggressive on the defensive side, knowing that I got somebody coming in and I can go right back in, a couple minutes later, knowing that there's not going to be any drop off or anything like that. It's just nice to trust my teammates, and I have all the trust in them, and I know they're going to come in and perform. It's just nice to have that, in the back of your mind when you're playing out there. You're going to give your all for those guys, and they're going to give your all for them or for me. So it's just cool to feel.
So I've watched every game you guys have played this year except the first Holy Cross game. So I want to circle back to that in a minute. But selfishly, when these games are going on, I do think about like, hey, who's having a good game? Is it an opportunity to kind of check in with them? You had a 33-point, 10-rebound game against UMBC. Unfortunately, didn't go your guys' way. It was a double overtime loss. Did that have any carryover effect, like a tough game like that? Like, you guys had chances and it just kind of ultimately didn't work out. Does that linger with you for a couple days or even a couple games sometimes when you lose a tight game like that?
No, it doesn't. I don't think it lingers a couple of days or anything. You definitely have that, like, that defeat mindset after the game, and but we're a hard reset kind of team. Like when it hits like 12 o'clock after, no matter if it's a win or a loss, like it's a reset. We got another game coming up. We got another tough opponent coming up. But we definitely it sucked a lot because we gave a lot of energy in that one. Yeah. The defense wasn't there, but it was I think it was 96 and 93 or something like that. Crazy. It was a fun game to be a part of. But like, no, I don't think for us those type of losses don't linger, but we just use them as like stepping stones, learning what can we learn that we did better, offensive, defensively, and just take it to that next game. And by the next day we're reset and we're ready to go into the next one.
That's a very mature answer, and I'm sure the coaches, if they're listening to this, are glad to hear that here as well. From the outside looking in, it seems like there have been some ups and downs this season, right? You had the 3-game losing streak going into the Puerto Rico tournament. You win 3 games there. You come back. You have 2 more wins. You get a good win against a local rival in GW. Have a tough loss like the UMBC one. Had a minor disconnection here real quick. Technical difficulties for folks listening in on this. We'll get Matt right back here in a second, hopefully. There we go.
You good?
Yeah, I don't know.
We're good.
Technical difficulties there are part of the business, I guess. It seems like there's been a little bit of a roller coaster of emotions here, like looking from the outside in, like 3 wins in a row, 3 losses. Like it's part of basketball, I guess. But does that help kind of weather the storm when you do have such a connected group like you guys do?
Yeah, it just shows like how connected we are. Like no matter how many losses in a row, how many wins in a row we're going to get, we're always going to stay level-headed. We're always going to try to keep getting better. Take whatever we can from each win, each loss. It has been up and down. It's been a really rough. We played some really good teams though, which really helped us. Our non-conference was really like good for us. Like I felt like we had some really good teams. We had some teams that were our same level, and then it's just like we learned a lot. And I was really proud of how we weathered our non-conference schedule this year. Especially with like playing the Puerto Rico trip was really hard for some young guys playing bang, bang, bang. Like you don't usually do that in college basketball. That's not something you do every day is play a game, at 3 days in a row or whatever it was. But it was a fun experience, and I'm glad that we got to go through it.
That's an awesome answer. I'm glad you mentioned the young guys there too. As one of the older veteran guys here on the team, I'm sure they're leaning on you for some of this too. When you do have a rough stretch like that, what's your message to the younger guys?
It's just staying with it. It's a long season. Like non-conference, like you want to get as many wins as you can throughout a season. Like non-conference is, I wouldn't say it's not important, but it's just to get better as a team and it bond as a team. Like you see what your weaknesses are. So when you get to that conference play, because we're only a one bid team, so conference is everything for us. So just showing them like like I know you look at our past, like, oh, we lost here, we lost here, we lost here. Why did we lose it? You just want to learn from those games. You don't want to harp on those games. You want to just learn, keep learning in the non-conferences. And when we get to that conference, just know every game matters. They're going to be close games, and that's why we went through all those non-conference games. That's why we did all those things. I promise you, that's just the type of message that I'm trying to give to these young guys. Like, it's a long season. Don't don't overthink the non-conference. Just be ready. Like, just keep learning, keep learning.
This is the real season for you guys. Like, I mean, that's the way you frame that. I think makes a lot of sense, right? Like, if you can get the best seed you can in the Patriot League tournament, and then just take care of business for that stretch. I think one of the interesting things too about the non-conference was just not only did you play good teams, but you played very different teams. Like, Virginia's not having their all-time best season or whatever, but they play a tough style of play every time you play them. UNC, like, they're gonna just get up and down the floor as much as they can. Got a really sort of quick, dynamic, athletic St. Joe's team. So I think by the time you get to non-conference, or get to conference play, you've kind of seen everything or seen every style of play. So, and then for you, there's a lot of returning guys in a league like the Patriot League. So you probably know a lot of these guys, pretty well, and how they're going to play by the time you get here anyway. So you can kind of give the scouting report before you even see, who the personnel is.
Yeah, a lot of familiar faces, and I know they can say the same for us because we got a good core, good core of dudes. But no, the Patriot League has always been it's always fun. They're always tough. Like, it's a lot of toughness to win a game in the Patriot League. I know a lot of people don't, probably watch our games or anything like that. But if you tune in, you see a lot of hard-nosed basketball, a lot of toughness going around, a lot of hard screens, a lot of fouling. I mean, if that don't get fouled, you know what I'm saying? It's just you got to play through it, though, and that's what I enjoy. I love it. Just makes me better overall as a player and as a person. But it's been fun.
There's a couple big boys on Loyola last night. I mean, they're
twins. Yeah, the twins, the Ellis twins. They're good dudes. They're really skilled big men. They've been around for a long time, probably almost as long as me. So we've had some good matchups.
Yeah, so I mean, it was fun to watch too. You going at them, and then obviously Noah Williamson at Bucknell is another player having a great year too. So that was a real, big man versus big man matchup to see you guys go at each other.
Yeah, a lot of good bigs in the league this year. Yep. It's pretty fun to go up against a good big every night.
Okay, so from your perspective, would you rather play a team without strong bigs and have have your kind of easy pickings here, or is it more fun to go up against someone?
No, I'm not shying away from no competition. I always want the competition. That's what that's what I strive for. That's what you strive for as a basketball player. You want to play against the best players you can, and the Patriot League has their picks of bigs that are really skilled. Like Noah Williams is a really good big 7-footer that can do both things inside and out. And then last night you had some really skilled overseas bigs that that's what the Patriot League brings, though. We bring in a lot of overseas guys, a lot of foreign guys that bring a different skill set every night, and it's just fun to go against.
Yeah, that is cool. For you, Matt, you've proven you can score inside, you can score outside. You really expanded the range over the course of your college career here. When you're on the perimeter, it drags another team's big away from the basket, which opens up some lanes for your teammates. But also, you do a really good job. I think you get a lot of double teams, and as effective as anybody else in the league, I think, as kicking out of them and opening up threes for your teammates. So how do you kind of pick the balance of how much you go inside versus outside? Is that something the coaches tell you beforehand? Is that part of the scouting report? Or is that you just kind of feel it out over the course of the game based on what the defense gives you? I'm always kind of wondering about where that balance comes from.
Well, we definitely have a game plan before going into the game, of course, if I'm going to be rolling more, if we want to get into the paint, because we really strive on living in the paint and then, getting our threes, because we rather get, 2 feet in the paint, kick out threes, because those are the most effective shots. So usually our game plan, is to go inside a lot more, get in there, get comfortable, get some easy shots around the rim. And then, if the threes are there, of course, we're going to take them because we love shooting threes.
Who doesn't? Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I do get a lot of double teams here and there, but I feel like there's a lot of shooters on our team, so that you can't double me very often. So I try to stay in that aggressive mindset in the scoring, but also in the facilitating, because I love getting my teammates involved. I love being able to share all the fun, as they would say it. But that's all I gotta say. Sorry.
No, but by being unselfish, it's also good for you too, because if you're kicking out and those guys are hitting threes, now nobody can double on you, and good luck with single coverage for the entire game.
I love playing with the guys that I play with, like Matt Mayock and Greg. Greg's really stepped up a lot this year with his shot from 3-point. Link's taken some good cuts. He's a really good facilitator for us. I love playing with Link. He's like that Draymond role that every team
he really
needs.
is, man.
Yeah, and then Eli's starting to hit his shots again. It's just fun to be a part of. And Colin's really stepped up this year. I'm really proud of Colin, of course. I'm glad he's just been able to be out there a lot more consistent than he has over the last couple of years. And he's just a great scorer for us, three-level scorer that, can hit some shots too. So it's a lot of guys around me that help me get my points, and I hope I can get them, their shots as well. So
of the guys you mentioned, like, you have good guards, you have good bigs. I'm lumping Lincoln in with the bigs group for this piece of it, but I think the advantage you guys have over some of the Patriot League teams I've noticed is that on the wings, like, there aren't a lot of guys that match up, profile wise with both Matt and Greg. And I think when you can get them both going, that seems to be when you guys are at your best. I think when they're both, engaged and scoring and getting good looks and confident in what they're doing. That's how it feels to me. Is that something that you guys emphasize?
No, yeah, for sure. Because they had a lot of minutes last year as freshmen, and that was really helpful for them. And now that they're in an even bigger role, it feels like as sophomores, they've taken their game up to another level. And Greg's it's been all confidence for Greg, and his confidence is crazy right now. He's shooting the ball really well. His defense is amazing. He's always, he's a utility guy as well on defense. He can guard 1 through 5 if he really had to. And then Mayock has also stepped a lot up on defense. He's been guarding really well for us. His shot has been starting to fall these last couple of games, which is great for us as well. It just spreads out the floor even more. And then them just being like 6'6" and 6'7", it's just hard to match up with us, from top to bottom. And you got a quick little guard in Eli, and then you got some big wings, and then you got Colin, another quick little guard, and then you got me on the inside. I don't know. I'm super excited about our team. I've always been super excited about our team, and now that it's starting to really click, we're starting to get really in a flow. Guys are starting to get back healthy. It's starting to get really exciting.
I wrote an article at the beginning of the year that said I really think that you guys, like, the Patriot League runs through you all this year. And I think when everybody's healthy and clicking, that's what that looks like. That's still the team I see. And it's exactly what you talked about. I think the makeup of the team just makes a lot of sense there, and the pieces all fit. And the fact that you guys all, like, gel and have chemistry goes a long way here too. Just individually, you've kind of ratcheted up your scoring, I would say, over the last 2-3 weeks here. Has that just been, what the defense has given you? Is that a concerted effort to be more aggressive here, in league play? I don't know. Is that something you were even paying attention to? The scoring average is ticking up here a little bit.
It's just more of like what the defense is giving me, honestly. How they're playing me. If I see an advantage in my way, I'm always going to be in that aggressive mindset. Whenever I get the ball in the post, I'm always thinking, score first. Well, facilitate first if anybody that double's coming, of course, and then if it's not, then I'm looking to score usually. But yeah, I've been trying to be more aggressive, like just ramping it up. So I'm just in that aggressive mindset. I'm not really thinking about, too much when I'm down there, but I just it's just fun. It's been good. I've been really aggressive, and I like it, and it's going to keep getting more and more. That's all I gotta say.
It's fun to watch, man. I love that. You, Lincoln, Colin, Eli, coming back. I don't think Eli has eligibility after this, right? He can't get a fifth year. So this is the last rodeo here for the four horsemen here. The major goal here is to win the Patriot League title, make an NCAA tournament, make a run there. What do you guys need to do to make that happen? Like, if we can do X, Y, and Z, we feel pretty good about our chances.
It's just staying connected, staying disciplined, and then it's all on the defensive side. That's what we've been preached to by coaches. It's just those three things: connected, being disciplined on the defensive and offensive side, and then just the defensive principles, staying, trusting your teammates, trusting that your guy's going to help you. Because we have such an aggressive defense. I'm out there blacking ball screens, as we call it, hedging, hard hedging. So it's just having a lot of rotations on the backside, just having that trust in your teammates that your teammates are going to be there. And that's about it, though. Just being connected, discipline, and the defense. That's really what's going to take us to the championship, I think.
That's a good recipe. In the chat here earlier in the show, Red Cocker said, Matt R., thanks for coming back for the bonus fifth year. I'm sure other schools were dangling some NIL cash, but thanks for being committed to AU and your teammates. I agree with Red there, but just circling back to that sort of student athlete piece of this, you mentioned going getting the master's here from AU. How's school going? How are things? What's life like as a graduate student here? Is it more taxing than undergrad, or how are you feeling about things?
I would say it's about the same, honestly. Last semester I still had four classes, and this semester I have 4 as well. So it's not like I have less of a load or anything like that. But it's still the classes are a little less like schoolwork ish, like not as much like day-to-day work, more of like the group projects, getting actual experience in the field of the marketing. So like, yeah, I got I'm in a new class, it's called Applied Client Project. We have like a project where we have like all semester that we work on all semester, and then we present it to the person that we're doing it for at the end of the semester. So it's just type of things like that I'm excited for, that gets, in the field of marketing that I'm excited for. So outside of basketball, I feel like I have a good path that I'm excited for after, the ball starts bouncing. So
I love that. So is that the plan? Something in the business world after the fact here?
Oh yeah, for sure. Sports marketing is my dream. Sports media type things like that is definitely what I want to do. You saw that I had the internship with the Mystics this last summer, so that was really awesome. Exciting for me. So just something in the sports world, sports industry. It doesn't have to be basketball, but if it is, that's a plus, of course. But I'm a big sports guy, Commanders guy. We just got a good win, of course. So
that was going to be my next question for you, man. Our O's are on the way up. The Commanders are on the way up. That's got to feel good. We just got to get our Wizards to sort of make a turnaround here at some point.
Hey, I don't know about that one, man. That one's going to take a little bit, it feels like, but we'll see.
Yeah, we need you out there helping them out, man.
Hey, if the opportunity comes, don't worry. I'll take full advantage of that one. Don't worry.
Any other Commanders fans on the team? There are some other local guys, so is that something you guys have been able to?
Yeah, Greg is a big one with me. Gibby as well. So some local guys. Colin's also not the biggest football guy, but he's a Commanders fan. But yeah, we got a lot of DMV ties, so we were all watching the game. So it was fun to finally get a win. Never saw a playoff win in my life. So
that is crazy to think about, man. Wow, I hadn't put that together, but that is nuts.
So yeah, RG3 was my hope, and then that hope crashed very fast. Now we got a new one. Hopefully, it lasts for a while.
It'd be nice to get another one here. Let's get greedy. Keep the playoff wins coming this year.
Hey, I'm not doubting us. I'm not doubting us. That's for sure. I'm not one of those guys that's just like conceding now. I think we have a really good chance. That's all I'm going to say.
I think so too. I like that. Next game is at 1 p.m. at Holy Cross on Saturday, January 18th. So this upcoming Saturday. Matt, best of luck. Thank you for doing this. I always love checking in with you, and keep doing what you're doing, man. It's fun to watch, and appreciate you coming on.
Appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Last thing, I always forget to ask this, but I think it's important. For anyone not following you, what are the social media handles for people?
Matt_Rogers with 3 S's on Instagram. That's my main one, Instagram for sure. And then Matt_Rogers4 on Twitter. So something like that. Awesome. So yeah, appreciate you. Thank you so much.
All right, man. Good luck this weekend. Have fun, and I'll talk to you along the way.
Yep, appreciate you.
All right, everybody, you know the drill. Hit like if you're watching on YouTube, rate, review, subscribe, all that stuff. We appreciate you. We're presented by betonline.ag, and we will catch you all next time.